He seems very fond of you too. I'm sure chatting with you will make him very happy.
Sure, let's go!
What should I try this time? A toast to our success. Made another handsome sum today. Let me tell you how.
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
Oh, what should I try this time?
I only wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
Made another handsome sum today. To our success.
So this is a day in the life of the traveler. I'm learning more about you all the time.
Let me tell you how
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
a toast to our success. Let me tell you how. Made another handsome sum today. Oh, what should I try this time?
I only wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me.
A toast to our success.
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
Oh, what should I try this time?
So this is a day in the life of the traveler. I'm learning more about you all the time.
A toast to our success. Made another handsome sum today. Oh, what should I try this time? Real tiger fish. Get it while it's hot.
I only wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. A blade is like a tea leaf. Only those who sample it many times can appreciate its true qualities.
What should I try this time?
Ad Astra Abyssos. Thank you for completing today.
Of iron stomachs.
Uncle Tien, we're here to chat with.
Oh? What a lovely surprise. Welcome, Hoishin. I heard that you've been traveling all over the place. Hoishin told you, didn't she? Don't worry. I'm quite all right. It's just the years gradually catching up with me. As I grow older, I'm starting to find that with many things, though the mind is willing, the flesh is weak. Especially recently, I've noticed a rather drastic drop in my energy levels. I am still very much in good standing as the Tianshu today. Nevertheless, I wish to pass on the position before my mental acuity begins to decline beyond redemption.
How difficult is it to transfer the Tianshu position?
Oh, well, you see, the Tianshu is a rather unique position among the Liyue Qixing. Historically speaking, The Jianshu rarely appears in public. We stay behind the scenes, planning and giving advice, so a public selection process would not be suitable. We also want to keep any prospective Tianshu candidates free from influence by outside forces, so we tend to be as discreet as possible in their assessment and appointment. For these reasons, the incumbent Tianshu typically recommends their candidate of choice, and this is then approved by the other Qixing members.
So in other words, you pick someone, and then Lady Keqing, Lady Ningguang, and the other Qixing appoint them?
Correct. Unfortunately, due to my health, I won't be able to assess every candidate myself. Not to despair, however, because I found someone exceptionally capable to act on my behalf as assessment officer. In fact, I believe you recently became acquainted with her yourself.
Oh? Who is it?
I'm heartbroken. I thought it might take you a little longer than this to forget all about me.
It's Sharon!
Jackpot. Uncle Tian here asked me to assess 3 candidates for him. Fancy joining me? You'll be among the first to get to know the next Tianshu. Might be a good opportunity for you.
What do you think? think so too.
All right then. Though, I gotta say, Uncle Tian, you say you're into behind-the-scenes planning? My work's of the covert variety, too. Don't you think I might make a good Tianshu?
Huh? Yelan, you want to be the next Tianshu?
I'm not opposed to the idea, but I suspect Ningguang wouldn't let you go very easily after how long you've been working together. So, how about this? If your investigation reveals that none of the other candidates are qualified for the position, I'll recommend you for the job.
Deal. Well, you guys take your time. Everything's all set for the assessments to go ahead. Meet me on the first floor when you're ready. Until then, have a pleasant conversation. Oh, and no need to pay for your tea. As the new owner of this fine establishment, this runs on the house. You're all set?
Uncle Tian seems really worn down. It's like all his energy's gone.
Yeah, it may sound harsh, but Uncle Tian is past his prime. He's not cut out for this anymore. So he's recommended 3 candidates. Their names are Qinwei, Mingbo, and Zhi. Qinwei is a wealthy entrepreneur. Mingbo works at the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs, and Zhi is focused on study and travel. Try to keep all that in mind. Of course, it doesn't really matter if you forget, since we'll be assessing them at Yuehai Pavilion in a short while.
Qianwei, Mingbo, Zhi. Paimon should be able to remember their names, but what does the assessment involve exactly?
Let's leave that until we get to Yuehai Pavilion. All right. Heads in the game, people. The stakes don't get much higher than a change in the Qixing. We can't afford to miss anything, no matter how small.
Got it. We'll keep our eyes wide open.
My legs are getting sore. What is wrong with this assessment officer? This is a huge occasion and I don't even get a chair. I've dealt with all kinds of people in my time, but never have I been made to stand while I'm waiting for an appointment.
Oh, I mean, I think it's fine.
That's called being complacent. If you're happy to just accept the way things are, you'll never be able to change anything in the future.
Oh, come on. That's just... Now you're just... being unreasonable.
All right, you two. Let's not get into a big argument over this. It's not worth it. Qianwei, that was a bit uncalled for. And Mingbo, cut him some slack. We've all been standing around for a while. It's natural to be getting irritable. Look, how about this? There's no rule saying we're obliged to stand up while we wait, so why don't we borrow some chairs from the guild nearby?
Fine. They're not the best quality chairs, to be sure. But under the circumstances, it would be better than nothing.
It looks like all 3 candidates have arrived. We'll meet them formally soon. Before that, let me run you through the assessment process. I've split it into 2 stages: current affairs and planning, and face-to-face interview. In the first stage, candidates are required to submit a manifesto for Liyue's development. In the second stage, we will ask them some questions in person. Writing a manifesto takes time, so I informed them of this requirement in advance. These are the reports they submitted.
Wow, one of them is really thick.
It's also worth mentioning a stipulation I gave them. Whoever is appointed as the new Tianshu will be expected to implement their plan as put forward in their manifesto. Failing the occurrence of some cataclysmic event, they will not be permitted to change their plan. Therefore, these 3 piles of documents in front of us represent where each candidate stands on key policy issues. There's still some time. Have a skim through, get a first impression of what each person's proposing. I'll be waiting off to the side. Just let me know when you're done.
I'm sure I've forgotten something. Not to worry, I'll simply send someone to fetch it. As soon as I remember what it was. I have to stifle a smile every time I remember the look on my retainers' faces when I informed them of my plans today. Panic-stricken, but unable to muster the courage to say anything in opposition. Yes, this was a...
Finished, huh? What did you think?
Everyone took it very seriously.
Of course they did. They have the chance to be picked as the new Tianshu, so you can bet they're putting their best foot forward. And keep in mind, whoever gets in has to execute their plan as written. Nobody wants to have any regrets. That's for me to know. We'll see the candidates now. Let's do one at a time. Start with Chenwei.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh? So you two are the assessment officers, are you? I had assumed that given the great import of this situation, Lady Ningguang would perhaps be assessing us in person. I certainly hadn't imagined I'd be seeing 2 entirely unfamiliar faces. I trust you've read through my manifesto? I'd be more than happy to clarify any details you found difficult to grasp. It was written with an expert audience in mind, after all.
Mind your tone, mister.
Relax. It wasn't intended as a personal slight against anyone in particular. I was simply stating a fact. Cloud Retainer? You know this Adeptus? Oh, yes, I remember now. You must be the traveler that people are constantly talking about. With your sterling reputation, you must have a respectable level of erudition.
Oh, is it my...
Yes. Please, and
I've worked there for, 9 years. I have 12 active cases at the moment. My current work is related to urban planning, and I'm also
Is it just...
you know what? Let's leave the self-introduction.
Oh!
Hello. What would you like to know? You're here.
Your manifesto is very wide in its scope, but you don't seem to be personally involved in many of the specific fields. How can you be—
Very fair question. But I'm confident in my plan. I've visited many different places. Of course, two different problems can be interconnected and very complicated.
How do you plan to determine whether you are right or wrong about your
A great question. Well, if it turned out that my judgment was to blame for poor—
Nice answer.
He seems like a great guy.
Here's my take on what we just learned. As you saw, Qianwei is highly knowledgeable, but he is very proud, and Mingbo's plan is more thorough and more measured. But he and Qianwei are otherwise polar opposites. Mingbo is not very—
Perfect summary.
Last but not least, Zhi. His manifesto is full of the depth he goes into in each and every area means it can only be a product of painstaking work. But what really interests me is that many of his views happen to—
Great.
We'll see.
I see. Then it's more or less as I anticipated.
All right, then let me ask this. The ideas in Zhi's manifesto are very similar to your own. Is there any particular reason behind this?
Oh, I didn't want to say anything when I gave you the list of candidates, for fear of affecting your judgment. But I can tell you now. Those 3 candidates have all studied under me in the past. It's only natural that they share some similarities with me. But Qianwei went on to focus on his business, and Mingbo has always been occupied with his work at the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Of all of them, Zhi was with me for the longest duration.
Whoa. So how did you get to know them all, Uncle Tian?
Qianwei was referred to me by an old friend. Mingbo came to my attention in the course of my work. As for Zhi, I was pure happenstance. We first met while fishing. Gradually, as we got to know each other, we started discussing all sorts of topics. Zhi came from a poor family, and his parents died when he was very young. But he was a gifted student and a fast learner. He reminded me of a younger version of myself, so I started out giving him a few words of advice when we were out fishing and noticed how quickly he got on. Quite. And now, all of a sudden, the young are growing up.
I don't know, Uncle Tian. You still seem in pretty good shape to me. You might have another few years of work left in you.
Oh, you. There's really...
Sounds like you sure love
Ooh, there's nothing quite like...
fresh fish soup.
Doesn't it? When we've been fishing recently, that flavor makes for a fond memory.
Ooh, can Paimon come next?
Let's get back to the matter at hand.
Had you not asked me why Juri's ideas were so similar to mine, this decision must be guided by what is fair and right. Remember.
Understood. Come on, let's go talk.
Bye-bye, Uncle Tian. So, it's gonna be... His manifesto was written...
Easy. Let's not rush.
Huh? So...
No, nothing like that. The assessment itself is complete. The biggest no-no in intelligence work is to only get information from the person of interest themselves. For example...
Yes?
Lady Yelan, what are you—
Did they scare you? These, as my trusted assistants, they are always standing guard nearby. Shanghua is a business expert who gets his information by trade.
That meathead must have been out there on sea surveillance for some time now.
Nothing can take that—
Shanghua, visit all the commerce guilds and look into Qianwei's background.
Yes, ma'am.
So what about Juri?
Juri, well, obviously as the most promising candidate. Let's go to the docks first.
If we're looking for him, he does business at the north...
That's,
Huh? What's Polite doing here today?
Look, your asking price for this batch is— Come on, hear me out! I'm telling you, this is the single— I accidentally dropped one into a well, and even so— Alright. I'll let you in on a little secret. The boss of Second Life also wants to buy from me, but I haven't— If you won't take him, I'll just have to partner with them. Okay. Oh, what are you doing here? And to be clear, these Sunsetias are mine. I got to them first.
Actually,
Juri? Yeah, I've heard a story about him. They say one of his neighbors was terribly rude to him all the time. He returned cruelty with kindness. Injustice with peace offerings.
he sounds like a decent man.
Why are you asking about— Well then, in that case, the higher bidder takes the—
Where? What?
it's him all right. Looks like he's chatting with Lin Long. Come on, try not to let him see you. We want—
I'll just go and fetch an employment contract. And hey, don't try and cut me out of this.
I understand. Let's walk and talk. So, you were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
The truth is, an old friend of mine, who likes to have a drink now and then, he fancies himself as a man of culture, but doesn't care for needless extravagance. So I thought I might buy him a set of high-quality fakes.
How very thoughtful of you. Leave it to me, then. Come and collect it at Shigu Antiques whenever is convenient.
Thank you very much, Miss Lin Long.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Juri. These days, it's quite rare for someone of your standing to still keep up with their old friends. It's nice to see. I'll be sure to pick out a good set for you. You can count on me.
Juri seems to get along really well with that. Are you satisfied now, you?
We shouldn't jump to conclusions just yet.
Wait, you're not just trying to dig up some dirt on Juri because you want to be Tianshu yourself, are you?
Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But hey, if I do become Tianshu, I'll look out for you guys. You'll be able to try all the finest food for free. How does that sound?
We will? Well, come on! Off to the South Wharf we go!
The wharf is as busy as ever. I hear the anglers here sometimes sell their fish to the nearby fishmongers.
Welcome. What would you like to buy today?
Sorry to interrupt. We've heard about this young man called Jur-E who's supposed to be a—
Whoa! Yeon made up a whole fake identity.
Ah, yes, Jury. He's been making quite a name for himself. Apparently, he had a rather... How does that saying go? What doesn't kill you makes...
Yeah,
But I'm afraid your Anglers Association might...
Oh?
He's good at a lot of things, but fishing isn't one of them. He fishes up... His catches are always... mediocre. Not terrible, but...
That sounds fantastic. I've got a—
Sure thing. See you.
Everywhere they go, they meet someone who's heard of him. Come on, let's keep asking around.
Here to buy some fish? You better hurry. When they're gone.
Hello, we're from the...
wow!
Society for Fish.
Please, don't worry. We've heard about a certain
So this isn't about me. I haven't heard anything about him selling.
Huh?
Because he's so poor. His parents died when he was still a kid when he first... he managed to survive. Thanks, he can afford to eat, and it's not like he catches much anyway, so it's not going to...
You'd rather he didn't know?
Well, I spoke to him once, briefly. I think he has pretty low self-esteem, but nobody's perfect.
I see. Well, thank you.
Not a problem. And just for the record.
The more times you say it...
Doesn't have a lot of more...
Hey, it's you guys! Wait, what's the phrase? What brings you to me?
The truth is, we are but newcomers to this territory. We heard tell of a great martial artist, Master Dugu, who knows everything there is to know. Hence, we sought you out to ask for your guidance.
Really?
But of course.
Great!
Now she's lying to a kid.
So,
Sure have. I've heard many, probably because it's nothing.
Oh, I can...
Oh, yeah! Before that, sometimes you get...
Just as I...
Huh?
I mean...
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Great! So next...
Certainly.
Thank you,
You're welcome.
Until we meet again.
Any of that sound strange to you?
Strange? Ji seems...
True. But the...
Sudden?
So he returns cruelty with kindness, and had to work to support his studies. These are the kinds of things that make someone well known in their hometown. Do you remember what Dugu Shuo said about Jur-E's stories? Clearly they left him with a good impression of the guy. Plus, there's the fact that all this praise of Jur-E, his childhood, his studies, the thing with his...
When you put it like that...
Of course, if that's all there was to it, Jur-E was born into a poor family. The problem is, do you remember what Uncle Gao said about him? He's stayed poor. Right. And that changes everything. That's the worst case scenario. But all too often...
Someone's trying to gain influence, even if we ask Ji about...
First, we need to find out who's support. Remember the current affair. Whoever is secretly help. Come on. Jur-E's manifesto covers a huge range of I'll divide the reports into two parts. Officially, the assessment is already over. And
Yikes! We better...
whatever else Uncle Tien might think of Jur-E, the fact remains that he's one of his... Any evidence he's left is not going to be immediately obvious.
Even the... Well...
Looks like I'm the first one back.
Oh, hey! It's one of Yeon's little helpers, Shunhua! If you're back, that means you finished investigating Tianwei, right?
You betcha. I visited all the commerce guilds and gathered a wealth of information. Every time they asked me to leave, but I always had another trick up my sleeve.
Don't drag this out. Just tell us your findings.
Yes, Lady Yelan. To summarize my findings, most people who've had interactions with Tianwei will start out complaining about how proud and arrogant he is, but then go on to give a generally positive appraisal of him. The young master of the Feiyun Commerce Guild said that Tianwei appears arrogant, but he's very scrupulous in the way he works. Once he signs a contract with somebody, he treats them fairly regardless of their background.
Who'd have thought?
Is it possible that his reputation is fake? Is there any way you can check the accounts of the businesses under his name?
In theory, that should be very difficult. But here's the thing. I asked around and found out that almost all of Tianwei's accounts are open to the public. Where he buys from and sells to should be confidential business information, but he doesn't seem interested in protecting it at all. Tianwei often sees business opportunities that others don't, but once he's made enough mora off of it, it's like he gets sick of it and releases all of his trade secrets. It's like he wants people to know that they still can't beat him, even if he shares all of his secrets. The fact that someone like that can still make mora is pretty infuriating when you think about it.
What a strange guy. It's like he's not doing business to make mora, but instead...
To validate his theories. No wonder his manifesto contains so many insights. It's all the result of his first-hand experimentation.
I'm back! Huh? How come you're here?
Why do you think? Obviously, because I possess superior skills, and am always one step ahead of the competition. Well, when you're the competition, at least.
You... whatever. I'm not getting into an argument with you. If I hadn't had something else to take care of on the way, I would have been back long before you. Lady Yelan, I have finished investigating Minghua.
Well, we're all ears.
The Ministry of Civil Affairs says that Minghua struggles to get his words out when he gets nervous, especially when he's chatting with strangers. But after a few days of getting to know him, you can pretty much have a normal conversation with him. On the whole, the feedback from the Ministry of Civil Affairs was very positive. He always considers the things that everyone else overlooks.
In your opinion, was the Ministry of Civil Affairs' appraisal of Minghua at all exaggerated?
I don't believe so. Minghua is someone who has slowly but surely earned the reputation he has today. According to Miss Yu, the Ministry often gets Minghua to take a final look at projects before they're implemented. People feel much more confident in something if it has his stamp of approval. Oh, and also, there was once someone in the Ministry who was lying and cheating to try to advance their career. Minghua gave them the scolding of a lifetime. Apparently, he can be terrifying when he loses his temper. I haven't seen it for myself, though.
Whoa, that's hard to imagine.
Like I said before, things are not always as they appear.
Ah, so that's what you meant by that. Paimon's starting to get it now.
Thank you both. You're free to go now. So, have you finished reading the manifesto?
We still have a bit left.
I can't see any immediate problems looking at the individual entries. The only one that strikes me as a little unusual is that Qiangshu Pool has always been home to many secrets. Plus, Ajdaha once wrought havoc there, so there are even more secrets buried deep underground. At some point, a rumor began to go around that there is great treasure buried beneath Qiangshu Pool. A long time ago, with the approval of the Qixing, a mining team conducted an exploratory excavation there.
So, did they find any treasure?
None. The ruin was completely impenetrable. The only way they could have gotten through the solid rock would have been by blowing it open with a special kind of explosive. The technology wasn't mature enough at that time, So the excavation project was shut down and the treasure became a mere legend. Jur-E's manifesto focuses on solving problems, and this treasure hunt seems extremely risky. It seems out of step with the rest of his plans. Still, this one fact alone doesn't tell us much. Everyone wants to get their hands on this treasure. The treasure hoarders, the Fatui, even local Liyue factions. Did you find anything?
Excavation? Project? Treasure? Did we read anything similar in our half of the manifesto? Oh yeah! Juri said the...
Did he now? Well, that makes everything much clearer.
Does that mean the Black Cliff...
No, not likely. I've looked into the Black Cliff Fort. They do possess some specialized still, since the clues are pointing toward the
Qianwei and Mingbo both turned out to be completely different than what we thought. What about Juri? Is there another side to him too?
The nightlife here is so vibrant.
I'm sure I've forgotten something. Not to worry, I'll simply send someone to fetch it. As soon as I
This is the Black Cliff Forge. Let's look around for clues.
What's this?
From the back, it looks like a ledger. We don't know who wrote it, but it's interesting.
You think they're suspicious?
Yes. Look, it says at this rate, by the time the Qingshu Pool redevelopment plan, that'll give them the chance to take a lot of liberties. They can copy any secret. Imagine if we didn't suspect anything. By the time Jur-E recommends the Black Cliff Forge for the no red flags if all they did was change some key staff. And even that's the advantage of planning this.
When you put it like that, it all makes sense. So, who's really...
That's a question for the newcomers. But let's start.
Excuse us.
I gotta say, these newcomers are... My only complaint is that they're always... I guess they just need some time to...
They go out drinking. This area isn't
You got that right. They tell me they go all the way back. It rained after work today, so they actually stuck around at the site for... Hey, you're only young once, right?
Interesting. Looks like our hunch was on the Mora. These drinking in Liyue Harbor, huh? Some good thing it rained today. It means they'll leave footprints.
They went that way! Hurry, we gotta catch up! towards Liyue Harbor. Maybe we were wrong about them.
Just as I thought. They didn't go to Liyue Harbor. They went that way. The footprints stop here, but, judging from the direction, looks like we were too late. This has gotta be where the newcomers rendezvous with whoever they're working for. Look at these ashes.
Could there be anything left? Maybe the wind could have...
The odds of that are very slim. It's practically impossible.
Why don't we wait for them back at the Black Cliff?
We can't count on that. Clearly they were based here. To me, that says that whoever's behind this has moved...
Darn!
Make no mistake. The purpose of our trip wasn't to find any solid evidence. We just need to figure out who's behind Jur-E. I smelled something peculiar the moment I came in. Those newcomers probably thought they'd be safe as long as they burned the letters. But what they failed to consider is that paper and ink from different regions produce different odors when they're burned.
Really?
There is a certain place with some wealthy people there put when that fragrant ink is burned. This is the exact odor that it leaves behind. Exactly. Yep, but it's all I need.
Lady Yelan! Oh, thank goodness I finally found you. I thought I'd never see you again.
Don't be alarmed. This is Upei. I sent him to look into Jur-E's regular contacts. I left him a note at Yanshang Tea House telling him to look for me at Blackcliff Forge when he got back. If there'd been an ambush So, what did you find out at sea?
Forgive my incompetence. I asked all the fishermen when I got back. I heard that you'd gone to Blackcliff Forge and might need backup, so I went...
Well, Uncle Tien said that Jur-E...
What? No, that's not possible. It's absolutely not possible. Lady Yelan,
Interesting. Then I wonder how that even...
Fish soup?
Nothing. Our priority right now... Well, any suggestions? Not a bad idea. Upei, what do you think?
Honestly, I've already tried following Jur-E, but the guy's too cautious. Never meets with anyone suspicious.
Okay, so
No, we'll still need to tail him.
groundwork?
When you've worked in intelligence for a long time, you'll understand that no one can stay on. Tomorrow morning, I'll announce his victory at Yohai Pavilion. Be sure to arrive on time.
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush.
It looks like we're all here. I won't drone on.
All of us here know.
Qianwei, Mingguo is reliable. In contrast, after much.
Thank you. Honestly, I'm a little surprised to hear my name being in my estimation. Would either of you enter?
I don't mind.
Okay, well, that's all from me. Zhi,
I will live up to the. I should go. I need to pack my things and then.
Count me out. I'm not in.
Zhi seems pretty relaxed now.
Hey, traveler, tell me something. If you can't answer that,
Oh no, if we get stuck here, we won't be able to leave!
follow him.
Yes, ma'am.
We finally.
Lady Yelan, Jury has gone to.
Follow him, quick.
So Jury really sided with the Fatui? But
Difficult to say, but everything should become a lot clearer when you find him.
I'm sorry, Lady. He's too good at this. We weren't.
how the heck did he manage? I guess Jury didn't let.
No, Upe says he's much more relaxed than usual. Maybe it's just.
Don't blame yourselves. Let's not forget he was trained by Uncle Tian himself. If I'd asked you to tail Uncle Tian, you'd—
Shinyue Kiosk. He only went in a few moments later. A man dressed in a completely different outfit came out. I figured that if we spooked him, it would undo. So I stopped Upe, and I stayed here to wait for you.
Good work. The fish didn't take the bait. Let's go to Shinyue Ki—
Senua Kiosk. Place to go for...
Could you explain to me how that works? A guy like him comes in.
Our customers are free to dress however they please.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, maybe I did, but it still doesn't—
Enough. Let's tone this down a little. I'll make this quick. Just one—
Oh, he didn't buy anything.
A bottle of liquor.
Yes, a very strong kind. This gentleman ordered it in person from us a long time—
Liquor?
Where to?
Shigu and— Hey, Miss Linlong. Sorry to bother you. Zhi ordered a wanware set from you not long ago, right? We're friends of his. He's been telling us how impressed he is with the quality, considering how affordable it was. So we just had to come and take a look for ourselves.
Sure. Which model are you looking for?
We don't really know a whole lot about wineware. Let's just go with Zhi's choice. Would you be able to show us the one he bought?
Zhi picked up his set not long ago. As a quality imitation of an antique wineware set, it has the look and feel of a luxury item. Just so you're aware, we don't have many of this model left in stock, and now that Mr. Zhi has taken one, I'm afraid it may encourage the price to go up a little.
Don't worry, price shouldn't be an issue. I'm sure we can work something out. But I'm just a little hazy on one thing. Did Zhi's wineware set include wine glasses, or...?
For this set, the wine glasses are sold separately. Minimum purchase is 1 glass, maximum is 4. Mr. Zhi bought 2.
Okay. Thanks, Linlong. Seems there's a little more to buying wineware than I first thought. We'll have to mull it over.
Well, don't take too long. We could sell out any day now. All right, see you next time.
This is turning into a real headache.
I'd just like to point out that we have the self-professed Grand Master of Fieldwork here to thank for being wholly incapable of tailing an ordinary civilian without being seen.
It's not like you did any better.
My specialty is information trading, okay? I don't have the physical agility. What's your excuse?
Fair point.
Yelan, so has the plan failed? Oh, if we can't figure out where Jerry went, there's not much we can do. But why was he buying liquor at Shinui Kiosk anyway? To celebrate?
If so, it's no ordinary celebration.
What do you mean?
First of all, Jur-E isn't much of a drinker. On some level, he hates alcohol because of what it did to his father. If he was just looking to celebrate by himself, he wouldn't spend his meager savings on an expensive bottle of alcohol, let alone buy a pair of special wine glasses. No, this is a victory feast, held in honor of Jur-E's private sponsor. Whoever this person is clearly enjoys hard liquor and has a very high status, hence the need for expensive-looking wineware. Now, where might we find Fatui who match that description, I wonder?
Fatui officials. Should be either the Snezhnayan Embassy or the Northland Bank.
Have both locations surrounded. Take as many people as you need.
Lady Yelan, is it time for us to make our move? If so, you can count me in.
Get with the program, would you? This is a covert surveillance operation. Jur-E may be vigilant, but that doesn't mean the same is true for his drinking buddy. In which case, we don't need to change tactics. Just change who we're following.
Great idea! So we just need to find out who Jerry bought that liquor for and follow them instead!
But Lady Yelan, if we get caught, this could become a major diplomatic incident.
I'm well aware, but don't you see? Jur-E is gambling everything on this. If we really want to catch him, we're going to have to accept a little risk ourselves. Stick to your orders, and make sure we're covering all other bases too. Anywhere else Jur-E might be going. I want eyes on those locations.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't worry, Lady Yelan. Jur-E may be a slippery character, but we'll keep a close watch on the movements of all Fatui officials.
I'll be waiting for you at the tea house. If I'm guessing correctly, Fatui Perfect timing. Wenyuan just sent word that the Fatui ambassador, Yusupov, just left the embassy alone.
Qingshu Pool?
It looks like that's where they've arranged to meet. Qingshu Pool is always crawling with monsters. Most people wouldn't dream of—
Oh no.
Let's go. If my— This is Qingshu Pool, full of ruins, crawling with monsters. Anyone with any sense steers well clear of this place. I've looked into the place before. There's a worker's entrance somewhere around here. Follow me. There's been some work done on this place and the workers left in a still.
Don't worry, we're by the way.
They have other things to— missed it.
Bubba, get them!
Shine down!
Stabilize!
Illusion shattered!
Out of the frying pan!
Cascade!
As I expected. But this shouldn't be too much trouble.
I see that? That's gotta be the Fatui bat. That must be the emergency
This is the construction workers' emergency access route, but it's closed tight. Trying to break through would be risky. Let's see if we can find another way.
Stabilize!
There is no escape!
Solidify!
Quietly now. Here comes the catch.
Be still.
The water's gone down. Nice and spicy.
escape.
Busted. The water's flowed into the groove, and now the statues have lit up. Okay, now we should be able to move the statues.
The door is open. Let's go.
We should be nearly at the bottom now. Let's wrap this up.
Solidify!
Shined up. Nice and spicy.
Be still. Order guide you.
Torn to oblivion! There is no escape!
Gotcha! Game's up! Time's over.
I can tell from the aroma that this is very fine liquor indeed. I'm impressed. Come on, bottoms up. After you, of course.
Oh, sorry, that went down the wrong way. I've never drunk anything this strong before. It'll take me some getting used to.
You'll get there. If you want to stay friends with us, you have to drink with us. You're more of a lightweight than I thought. Already, I thought you were made of sterner stuff. You certainly kept it together when you... Come on, another round.
Sure. You didn't leave me much of a choice, though, did you? Just the mention of poison. I'm more timid than you realize. Every time I poisoned him, I had to hide away.
Look, I know it has not been easy for you, my friend, but I have to say, you really are quite a genius. I mean, the poison we brought from Snezhnaya is as strong as this wine, but you found a way to turn it into an What was it you said? Oh, yeah. You said the soup's fishy flavor neutralized...
It struck me one day when I was fishing.
You have performed excellently. The Fatui will... Aside from Qingshu Pool...
Don't worry. Whatever task...
Did you hear that? It was poison! What a nasty guy.
Hold on. Did you bring a camera? If not, you can use mine. This is quite a scene. We have to capture...
Excellent. We've, seen no progress on the... But soon, everything will... I remember when I first saw you. I knew right away that you would make a good partner for us. Hey.
How could I forget? The only way is...
Yes. Just look at your two competitors. Qianwei had wealth. Mingboa had reputation. And that's why I decided to help you. You know, there's an old saying in the Fatui. Give a starving dog a bone, and it'll guard...
Yes. I cannot...
you know, heck, when you're not in the company of...
Uncle Gao said that Zhi has low self-esteem. He was worried that whatever advantage he might have now will diminish. Do you have any more film in the camera? Then get ready to use it. How well this goes for us.
Ooh, is there any more alcohol? Go on. Fill me up.
There's only a little left. Here, I'll fill your glass. If you like it.
Whoa, this is... Huh? Zhi.
You seem surprised.
You...
How could I not? I've sacrificed... You really think I'd put myself through all that just to become...
You...
Do you see the haystack in the corner? Underneath it is a pile of explosives. And next door in the dark room are the 3 undercover agents. I'm gonna stay here till I see you slip into unconsciousness. Then I'm gonna set this on fire. Once the flames burn through the hay, they'll ignite the
What?
I took the liberty of leaving some evidence of your contact with the undercover agents at the Black Cliff Forge. It won't take long for people... The Fatui planted under... But things didn't quite go to plan. Faced with the it explains why you acted. Of course, none of that will happen.
Zhi.
A record? Because when you contacted me, I also made contact with your associates. I have Theophant. He'll help me tie up all the loose ends. He has been eyeing your position.
Shh.
Sweet dreams.
I did a little surveying on the way here and found that you'd left yourself 3 escape routes in case things went... I have them all surrounded. If you're thinking of trying, we were here the whole time and have pictures of everything.
The game's up? I happened to discover a Fatui operation here, so I approached them on the pretext...
This is how you want to play it. Fine. You do you. All we need to do to convict you is establish that the poison in his system... Nothing else you wanted to...
One wrong move and it all comes crash. You followed him here, didn't you? I was so Let's talk about this, Yelan.
Your point...
When I take office, I can guarantee... I don't deny that I used underhanded methods to get here.
You still don't get it, do you? What do you think? Exactly. Jur-E. Clever people can always come up with a good excuse. There's nothing wrong with wanting to win other people's respect, but when has Uncle Tien ever... He was like a teacher and a father to you, but you chose to repay that by poisoning him.
That's enough.
Of course. What makes this even crueler is that you managed to convince yourself there was no other way. Out of everyone in the world, he is the one who trusts you the most.
That's enough!
Life is like fishing. It cannot be rushed. Whatever you do, impatience will accomplish nothing. I was just like you once, desperate to prove myself. Only later did I realize things do not always turn out the way you plan. But you have to keep calm to carry on. You're still young. Be patient, believe in yourself, and don't look outside yourself to prove your value. Where's Jur-E these days? It's been a long time since he last paid me a visit.
Maybe he's just busy.
Well, next time, if he doesn't bring a pot of piping hot fish soup, don't let him in.
Whatever you were thinking about, you'll have plenty of time to mull it over in prison. Oh, I almost forgot. If the Fatui find out what happened today, prison might not turn out to be the safest place for you. Trying to have friends on both sides, it has a way of turning everyone against you. But right now, I have an opportunity for you.
Huh?
Sorry, things are about to get extremely busy for me. I'll have someone remove the explosives.
Need our help with that?
No, it could be dangerous. Don't worry. As long as they're willing to cooperate, get some rest.
There is now no poison left in his system.
Dr. Baizhu.
You needn't worry too much. It's good we caught it in time. A few days later in the...
How did they successfully secure such a seldom-seen poison? It seems the Fatui are extremely resourceful. Unfortunately for them, they were up against us.
Uncle Tien will be heading off now. Remember to get plenty of rest and avoid overexerting yourself while you're recovering. Don't worry, I will. Thank you very much. You're here too? Thank you for all you've done to resolve this situation. And I'll have to make some tea in a moment. You simply have to try it. Yes, the exhaustion.
Luckily, it looks like choosing the Tianshu's successor is suddenly not such a pressing issue after all.
Hey, Yelan!
My work is mostly wrapped up, so I thought I'd take him. The assessment process comes to an end here, Uncle Tien. In my—
You have my gratitude. People can change.
Is it just Paimon, or is...
Don't underestimate Uncle Tien. Normally, the Yuehai Pavilion would be responsible for—
Yes, to be quite honest, when I first met you, I concluded that you had no... In the end, even I never had any plans to recommend him directly, but I always intended to give him the chance to come. I had no reputation to speak of when I first became Tianshu. I relied on Ganyu's assistance for all...
I have to admit, he's a The intel suggests that the Fatui saw him as very low risk. He chose that specific liquor from Shunyue Kiosk because the fiery flavor would mask the bitterness of the poison. He also installed a secret compartment in the wine pot he bought to hold the poison. As the amount of liquor went down, afterwards, we also found he had an antidote on him. Had the Fatui official grown suspicious, Jur-E would have drunk the poisoned wine.
That's still...
Yes. Had he drunk the poisonous wine, he still would have faced serious health consequences despite taking the antidote.
How is Jur...
Well, I mean, he's sitting in a jail cell. Still, he's cooperating. He didn't turn down my offer to strike a deal. I'll make sure there are...
A deal?
Yes, Jur-E's not the one I'm interested in. If he was as far as this one. But once the Fatui became involved, things got up.
Well, did you...
Almost.
Uncle Tien? Yelan? What are you talking about?
Jur-E colluded with the Fatui to try and secure the position of Tianshu. Or, with Yusupov in our hands, and also we'd be able to gain control of Theo. Pawns like this can be major assets. They open up all sorts... Why else?
So, okay.
We got halfway. But when we tried to make
the Fatui must be...
I found out from other sources that the Fatui's main forces aren't... It's a pity that Theophan...
I have to ask, Yelan. I remember you showed some interest a few days...
Oh, that. I prefer my current life, although it'd still be a behind... All right.
Where are you off to this time?
As you might have guessed, but I'm sure if you keep going as... Maybe I'll see you the next time danger beckons. Until then, keep your wits about you. A lot of people are watching you. If you have any more questions...
Jenny's adventure team, assemble! Ow! Where did that come from?
Rebuild! Stand clear. Animal test 63 away. Whirling snow. Get out of your dream.
My apologies. Kamisato art. Sometsu.
Violet grass is a plant that enjoys a moist environment and is best picked after it rains. If you should choose to pick any, be sure to store them appropriately.
Yeah.